To ReZero related news, to Mushoku Tensei related news, and even a mysterious anime that Aniplex has been hinting at for the past few days, there's quite a few things to really talk about in this video, and so let's start off with the ReZero related news. And I think anyone that has watched my channel and knows about what I like knows that ReZero is legitimately one of my favorite anime of all time. It holds a very special place in my heart because I really love the characters. It's just, the writing is phenomenal, and all the characters just really have some nice cohesion with each other, and even the new characters that were, like, introduced in Season 2 just work very perfectly with the cast, and ever since we got this trailer dropped about 9 months ago, hard to believe it's been 9 months since this trailer actually dropped, people have been patiently awaiting any more information on ReZero, when it will officially come out, what date, etc. And I don't even believe we have an actual studio yet. Like, we have rumors and leaks and assumptions that it is White Fox working on it. So yeah, I wanted to quickly clarify, so ReZero doesn't have an official studio attached to it yet. So yeah, I was making sure I wasn't putting my own foot in my mouth. But yeah, even at this point in time, after 9 months, there has been no studio attached to ReZero as of yet. Once again, we can assume it's White Fox. Some people have even said it might be Studio Bind, the same studio that worked on Mushoku Tensei. Whatever the case may be, we still don't know the studio, but, we could assume that for how long it's been, how long it's taken for a potential more news and when it's coming out, it seems like maybe Kadokawa is letting the studio cook, which is surprising, because usually Kadokawa just likes rushing things out the gate, so I'm happy to see ReZero getting treated a little bit more nicely than some of their other projects they kind of try to force out. But anyways, let's get into the main meat of the topic of ReZero. So basically, earlier this morning, our favorite fellow ReZero translator slash leaker, someone that translates the, the web novel of ReZero and the light novel, his team works on it, which is Cult Translations. Love their team, they do great work, and I'm always happy to see a new chapter by them when it comes out and all that. I especially appreciate it. So basically, we got information earlier this morning that ReZero will once again be getting a stage at Anime Japan, once again at the biggest red stage. Now, to give clarification to this is a huge, massive, convention, just, announcing different anime and stuff like that, and last year, in 2023, ReZero was also at the red stage, and because of that, we got this trailer, and all that other information that came out alongside of it, so we can assume since ReZero is going to be at the red stage again, there is going to be a lot more information given at this red stage. Most likely, if we could assume anything, it's probably going to be a new PV trailer, for instance, showing what they've been working on for the anime, to also probably showcasing maybe new characters, the voice actors, the staff, and yes, even the anime studio that is working on it, because that is a big one. That is something that is very important for any anime, is the studio and staff, and I feel like, looking at how ReZero's Season 1 and Season 2 have been, yes, there's people that can find faults in Season 1 and Season 2, saying that it's not perfect, there's problems with it, etc. But I feel like a lot of people don't really like to mention, yes, Season 2 isn't perfect, but it was in the middle of a time period when COVID was running rampant around the world, and at that time period, it's amazing ReZero turned out as great of a quality product as it was. It is insane, honestly. It showed the level of dedication that Studio White Fox put into the project. But anyways, with all that being said, that's not as irrelevant as, the current topic at hand, which is basically Season 3. So, Season 3, we don't know who's working on it, but we can only take an educated guess that it is probably going to be the same team. They've already worked on Season 1, Season 2, and the OVA. What's to say they're not going to work on Season 3? Now, let's actually get into the studio. For instance, Studio White Fox, and let's talk about what they've been actually doing, because I think this is very important to kind of lay the groundwork and foundation for what's been happening. So basically, Studio White Fox have been working on quite a few anime as of late, but one thing in particular that I want to point out is this series right here, Sengoku Yoku. Now, I haven't personally sat down and watched this show. I'm going to be completely blunt there, and I need to. I need to dedicate some time to watch it, because I know the first episode came out a few days ago, as you can see here, but it's listed for 37 episodes, and from all I know about the series is that it's a completed work that's been completed for a very long time, and sadly some tragic news associated with this. I believe the author of the story passed away. Now, I don't know if, like, exactly what happened or whatever, but that's what I've been told. I've been told that the author of the story is sadly no longer with us, and that's heartbreaking. That's legitimately heartbreaking if that is indeed the case. But, with that being said, though, I'm glad to see Studio White Fox kind of bringing to life a series that probably would have gone unnoticed for a very long time, and giving some, much needed love and dedication to it. Now, for this to be 37 episodes long, and apparently there's not going to be any split core with this does basically mean that White Fox is going to be heavily booked for this entire year. I want to put this in perspective, okay? They're not apparently making the split core, so there's not going to be breaks. It's going to be 37 episodes, which means that it's going to be 3 anime seasons long. So it's going to go from this current season, which is Winter of Anime 2024, Spring of Anime 2024, and then Summer of Anime 2024. That is literally most of the entire year that Studio White Fox is going to be working on this series consistently. Now, obviously, they might have separate teams and staff working maybe on other stuff on the side, like, for instance, ReZero. We don't know that yet, but what I'm trying to say, and why this is relevant to ReZero, is that because of how booked they are, is probably why we have not really had an announcement yet for ReZero's anime, like when it's going to get released. So this comes into the big thing. When the red stage comes around to give us more information to ReZero when it's probably coming out, at the earliest it's probably going to come out, if it is the earliest, is going to be Fall of Anime 2024. I still don't think it's going to air this year. I don't. I really don't. I feel like if there's going to be a time period when it's going to air at the beginning of 2025. That is the earliest I think it's going to air. Now, once again, it can happen. I could be putting my own foot in my mouth, but I do think that is probably what's going to happen, judging by how booked they are. Now, this could be completely irrelevant, and maybe it changed hands to a different studio, like Studio Bones, Studio Bind, Trigger, whatever, and White Fox is no longer working on the series. Now, that is indeed a possibility. That's fearful, like, I have a little bit of fear about that feeling, but regardless, that is also a possibility, so food for thought on that one. Now, that's all the information we got on ReZero. Now, moving on, we got MT. Mushoku Tensei. We are going to be getting, more information on Mushoku Tensei. It's going to have a bigger stage and all that for the red stage than it had last year. Most likely, if I had to assume, this is going to give us a new trailer for part 2 of Season 2, but also, it's probably going to give us more information on maybe where they want to take the story, because it's already been established by the team that's working on Mushoku Tensei that they want to adapt the whole series, so maybe they might hint at already a Season 3 or a continuation after Season 2 is already over. That is indeed a possibility. They'll probably also talk about the game that's being worked on. That's probably going to be a big focus of it. So, yeah, that is also some information to kind of think about. Now, moving on to the next one, we got Aniplex with this mysterious project codenamed O. They also have another one called, like, M or whatever, and they apparently seem to be completely different projects. Some people are thinking that the Project M one that they kind of leaked or hinted at, like, a few days ago is potentially Monogatari. Now, that's a possibility. Some are saying this could be entirely Monogatari related because the font is very identical to Monogatari, so that is a possibility. However, I don't want to talk about too deep into this because I work with Webtoon, but there is a potential possibility that this is Omniscient Reader. I think everybody at this point has probably seen it, so I'm just going to mention it, but there was leaks that Omniscient Reader is getting a anime, and so with that being said, it's entirely possible that this also could be implying that Aniplex has picked up, for instance, Omniscient Reader. And why is this relevant? Well, let's talk about that. So basically, if we go to Solo Leveling here, which, I'm going to pull up, as we know, Solo Leveling is currently airing this anime season. It's very popular, one of the favorite, or the most popular manhwas of all time. People absolutely love the series. It may not be perfect, but it is popular for a reason. So the anime that is obviously currently coming out and all that, it is, let's put it this way. People love it. People absolutely love Solo Leveling to death. They want, to see where the series is going to go, how certain fights are going to be adapted, but basically, we know that Aniplex is one of the producers a part of it, as you can clearly see here. They are known for picking up these type of profiled series, and it makes a lot of sense that this potentially could be hinting at Omniscient Reader. Now, once again, this is speculation, this is rumors, but it is possible. It could be something else entirely, an anime original project, whatever, but there has been leaks as of late in the past week that Omniscient Reader is getting an anime. So, food for thought on that one. So, I guess I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If I brought you any information that you enjoyed or you're excited for anything, do leave me a like on this video. It does help me out a lot. And with that, guys, I love you. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.